And there they are. Aston Martin and the Fleetwood, both on the same truck. How about that? Oh, guys, I am so excited for this. Okay, let it begin. And there she is, fresh off the trailer. Damn, that's actually a nice looking car. That is a slick looking little ride right there, man. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. We are back with a new car that's supposed to have a very big problem. I'd like to introduce you to my super cheap Aston Martin. What do you think, Nick?
I like it.
Hey, boy, you got tall. Good God. I think he's taller than me. I swear, every time I look at you, man, you gain like 2 inches. You gonna start hitting the gym and bulk up a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. But first, you got to ride in this Aston Martin, right?
Yeah, I got it.
Did you ever think in your life we'd have an Aston Martin?
No, not at all.
Same here. I mean, look around. Look at all the... Yeah, he's laughing. This car don't belong here, man. This car's too nice. Well, here's the deal. I got this for really, really cheap, and I swore I would never buy one. I watched Sam Crack. He had one of these in a manual transmission, and his was a hardtop, if I remember correctly. And I remember watching him go through just this hellish nightmare of repairs with this car, and I was like, oh my God. And then the prices, even little things for this car are ridiculous. They're like more expensive than Lamborghini and Ferrari. And I said, not a chance I would ever. I commented on several of his videos about this very car. I said I'd never own one. I said never. I started rewatching his videos just to get a better understanding of what I might run into on this car. And I saw my comments, and it just shocked me that, wow, it was 1 year ago. I couldn't even have dreamed of having one of these. And a year later, I have one sitting in my driveway. Wow. That's mind-blowing. Now, I got this really, really cheap for a reason. It came from a dealership in Maryland. I think it was Maryland anyway. It's just somewhere up there in the Northeast. It was a Dodge dealership called like Osram or something like that. Well, I got this from ACV Auctions for $24,000, which means I got this for less than Sam Crack got his for. He got his for $25,000, and his didn't move. It had a bad clutch, a bad throwout bearing. It was all just, and it was on air ride suspension. It was all custom aftermarket. It was pretty rough. I got this one just like it sits for $24,000 with like $400 in buyer fees. And here it is. The dealership that sold it, the Dodge dealership, said that it had one major problem, engine problem. It claimed that there was coolant and oil intermixing. You got to love these butterfly doors. I think that's what they call them. They go up, but not like gull wings. They just kind of go up at a weird angle. Coolant and oil intermix on this car. And I'm going to show you right now. It's got 60-something thousand, like 62,000 miles on it. Here she is. And I'm going to take this off because I got to show you what it looks like now. All right. There's the oil. Nice and clean. There's the cap. That's nice and clean. However, the pictures said intermix, and it was because there was a buildup, a massive buildup of condensation on the bottom side of this cap. So when you turn the cap over, it looked like it had milkshake all over it. So the dealership sold it as is, and they said that it had an engine problem. Well, let me tell you something. I hate to spoil the video, but I did this without you. I couldn't resist. When the car showed up, I took her out for a rip, man. The first thing I did is I hammered on her because it's a freaking Aston Martin. I took it out and I hammered on it. And I'm here to tell you, as soon as I got back, I checked the oil cap, and guess what happened? I bet you guys already guessed. That was gone. It was not coolant and oil intermixed, guys. It was condensation because the car wasn't being driven enough. It had been left sitting or taking short trips back and forth to the grocery store, to the gym or whatever. Golf. Well, you ain't going to put golf bags in this. But anyway, that was it. So, I think, you want to go for a ride?
Yeah.
All right, let's take her for a spin. Let me make sure I got the key here. What do you think of them doors? I think they're cool.
They are. It reminds me of the Corvette.
Yeah. He said it kind of reminds him of a Corvette. Now, this door is supposed to hold itself up like the other one does. This one just kind of, this door doesn't hold itself anymore. Obviously, being used, it's got a few issues, a few little cosmetic issues. But here's the other thing. They said that this car had bald tires in the back. So I was like, great. You know, I'm going to spend another $1,200 on tires. We're just getting started. The tires are fine. There's nothing wrong with the tires. Obviously, the convertible top works. Fire it up. Runs great. No warning lights on the dash. Other than, I think there may be a TPMS light. No? I guess not. Says the e-brake is on. That's a finicky little thing down there. There we go. E-brake is off. So we do have a TPMS light. Other than that, that's it. We can turn the headlights off. I don't think we really need headlights right now. There we go. Flashing TPMS light. It's got a screen up here, but the screen, I guess it doesn't work. It looks like it came off or something. I don't know. Nobody uses this screen anyway. Everybody seems to really hate it. This is a sport shift transmission. So it's a manual, but it's automated. Yeah, so, you know, expensive things if it breaks. You got drive, neutral, and reverse, and then you got comfort. I'm not driving an Aston Martin to put it in comfort mode. We will use the paddle shifters once we get buckled in. So I'm going to buckle up. We got parking things. Here's another thing I've noticed. None of these work. This one works, but the parking button doesn't seem to work. The fog lights. Let me see here. Fog lights work. The traction control. That doesn't work. That one does. That works. And I guess we got to turn this on. Yeah, AC works as well. Yeah. Turn off. We're good. And the radio. Vantage premium audio system. It seems to work. How's that stereo?
It's good.
That's pretty good. It's got a pretty good stereo. I'm not gonna lie about that either. We'll turn all this off. The clock, don't know if it works or not. I think we got some cup holders here. This little thing right here, and I guess that's about it. So there are some buttons that don't work, like this parking button does not work. And then the fuel release door down there, that doesn't work either. That's kind of a big deal, but why don't I get buckled up? Let's take her out for a quick spin and see how it does. So Nick just brought up something interesting. You said it kind of reminds you of what?
A C6 Corvette.
A C6 Corvette. That's funny because I just bought a C6 Corvette, convertible, black, from the same guy that used to have one of these, black Aston Martin. So that'll be an interesting comparison, but I agree with you. I think they look relatively similar, sort of. And performance-wise, I think the Corvette is probably going to outperform the Aston Martin. This is a 4.3-liter V8 with 380 horsepower. So, and the Corvette was cheaper as well. This, even getting it as cheap as I got it, you're still talking about $24,000. That's still quite a bit of money. And you could get a Corvette for probably, with the same miles, I would imagine for about the same $24,000. Now, if it hadn't been for the dealership screwing up on this car having a serious problem, this car would have been over $30,000. And at that point, I'm thinking maybe you should just take a Corvette. I don't know. What would you think, an Aston Martin or a Corvette?
Aston Martin.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. But that's because when you're driving an Aston Martin, sorry guys, there's traffic, and I don't want to risk just pulling out in front of somebody. When you're in a Corvette, people just see, oh, it's a Corvette. It's no big deal. Like, nobody cares. You could be in a C8 and it's like, oh wow, look at the C8, but nobody cares. When it's an Aston Martin, even an old one, even just a little Vantage, people look at it and they're like, oh hell, there's an Aston Martin. Can we go yet? God, man, the traffic out here today is just crazy. Come on, Lincoln. Get it. There we go. All right. So, clutch feels good. The exhaust sounds great, too. Does that put it in first? Yeah? All right. Woo! Oh, man! Come on, tell me that is not amazing.
That was awesome.
Oh, she sounds good. Are you serious right now? Oh, man. I can't drive 55. Lean on that gas just a little bit. God. Woo! What do you think, Nick?
I love it.
You love it? Me too. And I think I kind of like it too, guys. She's a... Oh, that exhaust. Wow. Okay. Let's get back to the house. I smell something. I smell something funky. Ugh. That doesn't smell good. Putting that top up. Woo. That's better. You were getting a little cold, huh?
Yeah, it was super cold.
Yeah, it's a little cold too. That's better. Let's put those windows up. Make sure everything works. Yep. Now we can turn some heat on. Keep an eye on the temperature gauge and everything. Everything's looking good so far. Oh yeah, heat works great. They thought it had a blown head gasket. Are you serious? Check tires. Roof failure detected. What? No, that's a damn lie. The roof is fine. Roof movement paused. Roof movement complete. All right, so she's touchy, man. You know, it's not perfect. Obviously, we got it for super cheap. We're driving it in gravel. This is not what you're supposed to do to an Aston Martin. All right, I'm gonna let him. You probably want to film something for yourself, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
All right, I'll let him get some footage, and we'll come back here in a minute. All right, we got the roof up. Hopefully, it's a little bit quieter in here now. Road noise, not bad at all. Handles like a dream, drives straight. And we still have no check engine lights or anything. The funny smell that we got earlier is gone now. So, yeah, so far I think I stole it, guys. We'll pop the hood when we get back. And we'll check that dipstick again, just double check, make sure there's no frothiness or anything going on under there. But I think this car is fine. I think the Dodge dealership misdiagnosed it. I do, and boy, what a mistake. I mean, even wholesale, you should have been able to pull over 30 grand out of this. You should have easily been able to pull $30,000+ out of this car wholesale. Clean title, of course. No way, man. I think this is a rare occurrence, a rare occasion here, guys, but I think we got lucky on this one. Let's get back to the house, and we'll do a little exhaust sound, and we will check that oil, see if we've got any intermix going on in there. But I got a feeling this car is just fine. All right, we're back. What did you just say?
This was a steal.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I agree with you, Nick. I think this was a steal. We'll go ahead and shut her off. Take the key out. Interesting key. Looks a bit like a Jag key. But then this is a heavy, very heavy key fob, man. It's got some weight to it. Are the doors locked?
I think they are, yeah.
Did that do anything? There you go. All right. We'll pop this hood. Those butterfly doors, man. I like them. I like them. Nick, you get you a little footage?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, and some pictures? All right, so he's set. So he's leaving now. He got what he wanted. He's out of here. Typical teenager, man. All right, so now that we've taken her out and kind of hammered on her a little bit, well, not really. We didn't really hammer on her, no. You know, we can come in here and kind of sniff around. You know, I wonder if that smell is this engine dressing. Somebody put like engine dressing all over this car. That might be the smell. It's hard to say. This car needs to see the Auto Spa LLC, so rest assured, guys, I'm taking her to see Brian and his guys over there at the Auto Spa to get this thing looking as good as it possibly can. Good pressure on the cooling system. Engine's not hot at all. You hear the exhaust manifolds kind of cracking a little bit as they cool down. It's pretty cold out here. There is a lot of just crap over here. There's some oil from where I checked the oil earlier. That's nothing to be concerned about. I don't smell anything funny coming out from under the engine bay, guys. And this is so similar to the Corvette, although a lot of people will say that it looks like a, what is it, a Ford Fusion? Okay, ha ha, hardy har har, funny joke. Anyway, I guess it kind of does, right? It kind of does. I see the resemblance, but come on now, it's not. This, you can't mistake it, man. They put the damn badges everywhere. This is an Aston Martin that was hand-built in England, final inspection by Mick Moten. Who knows, maybe he'll see this video and he'll be like, I built that car. I final inspected that car. Anyway, like a Corvette, you've got the engine up front, but then you've got a torque tube that runs down the middle, and then you've got your transmission in the back. And even though this is technically an automatic, you can put it in drive and you can drive it like an automatic, but I've had other cars like that, and they drive like absolute crap, guys. The SMG, the BMW M5 was like that, had an automated manual, and automatic mode was crap. If you're going to drive these cars, if you get a Sports Shift or a Sports Shift 2, you're going to want to drive it in paddle shift mode, just sport mode, man, and just blip, blip, blip. And another trick is when you're going up on the paddle shifters, just blip your foot off the throttle just a little bit, help it shift faster. Like just blip, foot off, right back on again. Help save some wear on your clutch. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos about these cars because the clutch is a big, massive, huge failure point on these cars. It doesn't matter if you have the automatic or the manual, because guess what? They're both manuals. This one just has like solenoids that help shift like an automatic, but it's really not. It is a manual. It has a clutch just like the normal stick shift version of this car does. So clutch is a big deal. I've got the Carfax report. It's got a good Carfax report. Everything looks good on it. The car looks like it's been pretty well cared for. It's got a few dings and bumps and bruises here and there, but I mean, nothing major. The paint and everything, I'm sure, is going to come out looking really good. But the clutch has never been done, at least not on the Carfax report. So what does that mean? It's pretty rare for these things to see 60,000 miles on the original clutch, but it's not unheard of. But it does concern me because I watched Sam Crack and some of his friends, Alex from Legit Street Cars was out there, Sage was out there, and I think his brother was out there on the ground on jack stands. They did this transmission, I think, 2 times. Then he took it to Eurocharged, and then they did it again. So I'm not looking forward to a clutch on this, but I think if we have to do it, I've watched him do it enough. I think we got this, man. We got a shop, we got a lift. If it's got to be done, it's got to be done. So now that you've seen the car, I wanted to show you. Let's see if there's any froth going on now that we've been out hammering on it, right? Because that was a big... Well, that's hot. That's real hot. Jeez. No froth. Nope, no coolant. I knew it. It was a bit of a gamble. Anybody that spends $24,000 on a car they've never seen is gambling. Make no mistake. But when you're talking about something like this, an Aston Martin, one cylinder head used on eBay is $3,000. Okay, this thing has a working engine and a working transmission. A transmission, a sports shift on there that's missing some of the parts, that has no guarantees, it's like a core, $3,000. So when you really start thinking about it, you've got a practically brand new set of tires that the listing said was bad, the body parts and motor and if I wanted to make my money back, and some, probably quite a bit, I would just break this car into pieces. Guys, I've got tons of good parts to this car. I could make a killing on it, but obviously I don't want to tear the car apart. It's a lot of time, it's a lot of work. And the damn thing runs and drives absolutely great. I'll be the first to admit, I've never driven one, never thought in my wildest dreams I would own one, and here it is sitting in front of me along with all of my other clunkers. Now, I said we're going to get into some of the issues, so let me show you, and maybe some of you out there can help me with them. First and foremost, probably the biggest issue I have with this car is the butterfly door that doesn't hold itself up. And it's heavy, guys. You gotta really hang on to that sucker. I'm going to show you the other door, and please forgive the road noise. If you open this door, it opens real easy, and it just holds itself. And you can use just a finger. Look, it does. See? Even when you're... Look at that. If you tried that with the other door, that sucker would have just went bang. So I'm guessing there's some kind of a hydraulic assist somewhere in here that has gone bad and probably needs to be replaced. Now, next, I've got some buttons that don't work, and some of these concern me. Here's one. I don't even know what this is. It's some kind of a... It looks like an alarm for the roof. I don't know what that is. I don't know what it does. Then we've got the fuel door. I just pushed it. It was lit. It did nothing. See, there it is again. It does nothing. Okay, so who knows what that is? It's probably a mechanism or something down in there that's broken. Could be the switch itself. You have to open the trunk, and obviously somebody has been in here because this stuff is all pulled back. Looks like it's been that way for a while. You got to pull this stuff back and weigh. Do you see that white back there? That's a lever. You got to get your finger in there and pull it. And that's how you get access to your gas cap. Now this looks like it's hydraulic assisted maybe, and it looks like the hydraulic portion is not functioning anymore. But somebody got in here and tried to pry on it. How about that? To open it, they decided to stick something down in there and try to pry it. You got a very heavy duty, like aircraft grade aluminum gas cap on this. But at least you can get to the gas cap. Next, you got some of this trim coming off right here. Look at this. Like somebody intentionally was taking stuff apart on this. I don't know why. Here's another thing. In here, you got a power outlet, but over here you got a button that shows a battery with an X through it. What does that mean? What is that for? I don't know. I pushed it earlier just to see what it did, and it did absolutely nothing. The convertible top is in good shape, thankfully. In fact, the entire car is really in pretty good shape. And as you saw, the top works, even though it did say that it had a... Whoa, that was my bad. I forgot that this was the easy door to open. I'm used to that driver's side door, man. I try to fling the sucker open. There are switches. Where are they? There's a button somewhere on this seat. You push it, and the seat comes forward. You've got your battery and stuff down there. It's got a banging system, I'll tell you that. The stereo system in this thing is phenomenal. You would think this would open right here, but I guess it doesn't. It's got an opening right here, almost like it should, but it doesn't. What is this, an ashtray? Oh, it's a power outlet. All right, I don't know what this is for either. What do you put in there? There's a cup holder thing here. This should flip out, but it doesn't seem to. I don't know. This piece right here is supposed to be over here. All right, well, aside from that, as you saw, there's a couple buttons that don't seem to work, but thankfully the seats work. You can open the gas tank. Doors work. The key fob works. It's got brand new tires. Somebody painted the wheels. These would have been, I think they would have been kind of a chrome color, maybe a polished aluminum. I don't remember, but they would have probably been like that color right there. They did a good job, though. I think this is not just painted. This looks powder coated. This is not like Plasti Dip, I don't think. I believe this is actually powder coated. The red calipers, those are factory. Those are supposed to look that way. And I'll even try to get you in here so you can see the rear tires a little bit. They said the rear tires were completely bald, but I see tread on these tires, guys. And they may not be brand new, but she's got good tires. The exhaust sounds pretty good. Why don't I sit you guys down back here? I'll give you a little exhaust note real quick. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The 2008 super cheap, clean title Aston Martin. That, at least in my opinion, was misdiagnosed by the last dealership. It's not perfect. Good luck finding one that is. And if you find one that's pristine, in perfect condition with 5,000 original miles on it, well, I can guarantee you, you're going to have problems out of something like that too. If you take one of these cars, you just leave them sitting for years and years and years, and you don't use them, the minute you buy it and you start to go out on the road and you start hammering on it, having fun with it, guess what happens? Those seals that have been sitting and shrinking over time, that have not been properly lubricated and used, heat cycled, believe it or not, those are the things that are going to leak first, long before something with 60,000 miles on it is going to start leaking. So this is a nice middle ground in my opinion. It's definitely not perfect. It's not show quality, but it's an excellent driver quality car. We got it for so cheap that I don't see any way currently of losing any money on it. And it runs, it drives great, and it may have a few little quirks here and there, but there's no mechanical issues that I can think of. And at the end of the day, guys, it's an Aston Martin. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now, I've got a big question for you guys. Would you rather be in a 2008 Aston Martin Vantage V8, this exact car, or a 2008 Chevy Corvette convertible, same color, black on black with automatic, all the same? Which one would you prefer? The Corvette or the Aston Martin? Well, we're going to do a comparison video, assuming I make it back from Florida in Sam Crack's Corvette. I'm letting the cat out of the bag a little early, but I've already purchased it. I actually purchased it a week or two ago. That's a done deal. Monkey Wrench Mike are going down there to pick it up, and we're going to try to bring it back. It's a high mileage Corvette. If you didn't see his video, you should probably go watch it. I'll put a link down below. But that is going to be an interesting trip, and then I want to do a legitimate side-by-side comparison of the C6 Corvette and the 2008 Aston Martin Vantage to get a closer look at what they look like next to each other, and then drive each one of them back to back so we can get a better idea of how each one drives compared to the other one. Because I'm genuinely curious, is an Aston Martin better than a Corvette just because of the name? Or is the Corvette really the better car and the better value for the money? Not to worry, this isn't one of those cars we're just going to bring to the channel and then unload in the next video. I think we need to probably look at doing an oil change on it. Maybe we can do that ourselves. I would also like to get it on the lift to get a better idea of what's going on underneath it. Does it have any leaks? Is there anything that we're missing? It would help to get it on the lift, assuming we can get it on the lift. I think we can. I think we can. I think it'll fit on the lift just fine. So I definitely want to do a video getting it on the lift and doing a more thorough inspection of things going on underneath it. Verify that hopefully it's got no leaks, because leaks equal money. But at the end of the day, if I were to choose to keep the Corvette or the Aston Martin, even though I think the Aston Martin is by far the cooler car and probably more fun to drive just because it's an Aston Martin, maybe, just maybe, the Corvette would actually be the better deal, simply because general maintenance on this car is going to be expensive even if you do it yourself. If something breaks, it is going to cost you some serious money to fix, whereas a Corvette may not be the cheapest car on the road to repair, but honestly, they're really not that bad. Drop your comments below, let me know what you think. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get out of here. I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to watch my videos. I truly appreciate it. If you enjoyed this content, hit the thumbs up button and definitely leave a comment below. If you're not subscribed to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. I would truly appreciate it. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, auto auction rebuilds. Direct link down below this video to all of that good stuff. Stay safe out there, everybody. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon in the next one.